Hey guys, welcome to our Thursday night team call, Team Inspire Epic Change. And it is so good to see you guys. I see a new coaches on here. I see Hillary and Jessica. Those are Susan's coaches. Good to see you, Megan and Angel and Jess and Charity and Jilly. Good to see you. I call it Julie. I don't know why I just did that. Jill, good to see you too. Thank you for being on tonight. So tonight, guys, we have a super special guest tonight. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so I have to tell you how I met Brittani Staab. I met her at our Louisville Super Sunday. And how I thought she was in the crowd, and I know I think you came up to talk about your transformation with Joe Carden, right? Mm-hmm. That was happening. And I said, I shared a video. Oh, that's the girl with that's Brittani. She's with the Quarter Force Test Group. I totally recognized you. And I sought her out. I was like, stalker Mona. And came up and I was like, I love you. And no, seriously, her story, she got up on stage and she shared her story, a little brief story about how she got into the test group and then shared a little bit about herself. And to say that we were all emotional was an understatement. Hearing, and Susan was there and she can attest. It was just really, it just brought even more excitement for this program because, and I'll let Brittani share, she has a team call to hop on her own at 9. So you guys are like, yay, not a 50-minute call, awesome. So we'll keep it short and sweet tonight. But it really brought me some excitement about the program, even more than I ever thought, because she shared about fighting for a why. And how this is so much more than just I don't know, it was not that our programs aren't life-changing, because they are, we know they are, but Brittani just really shared another aspect of why Quarter Force is so special. So I want to quickly intro this beautiful woman, and I'm going to let her take the floor, and then we'll have an opportunity to ask her questions. I hope she won't mind fielding those, because I know what we want to do tonight is hear, first of all, how she got involved, a little bit about Brittani, how we can best help our challengers benefit from this program, and how we can be the best challengers ourselves, and how we can show our Quarter Force Test Group, launch group, how this works, okay, and how it's going to change our lives as well, because we have to be the best challengers for our coaches and our challenge groups. So Brittani is from Mount Washington, Kentucky, and she's originally from Louisville.
Yes,
we got that right. All right. Now
born and raised.
Get the map out. Mount Washington, is that what part of Kentucky?
That's basically just a few minutes south of Louisville.
Got it. Okay. Well, I did not know, and I think I've been over, but I don't know Mount Washington. So she's from Mount Washington, Kentucky. She's married to her very sweet husband, Sam, for 5 years. She's a mama of 2, Lucas and Sophia. She's an Emerald coach on the 2-time elite team, Team Brave. Now, who's your upline coach? Who's your sponsor coach?
Taryn Dickey.
Okay. I'm going to find her.
My whole team is way up north, which is so crazy.
It's in Michigan?
Say that again?
In Michigan?
No, they're in Massachusetts, New York.
Oh, that area. Okay, yeah.
So,
okay. Very
I'm
cool.
from Massachusetts, and I'm on a team with people from Kentucky.
Yeah, see how it works? It's all over.
That's awesome.
That's awesome about Beachbody coaching, because we are all around, and that's the killer part. So she has these 2 beautiful babes, and you saw the picture of those cuties on the picture I posted on our team page. But she's been coaching for 1 year, and like I said, she's an Emerald coach, and she is, like I said, a official Quarter Force Test Group member. And her 60-day picture, I think, is what I saw, is phenomenal. So we are so excited to hear from you tonight, girl. And I'm just going to let you go ahead and tell tell us about you, how you got involved, how coaching happened, and then, share about what you shared with us at the Super Sunday. And we have open ears, and we can't wait to hear and learn from you, Chica. All right, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. Well, that was an awesome intro. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me on this call. It was such an honor to hear from Mona and have her want me to share my story with you guys. And so I'm really excited to be able to do that. For those of you who weren't at Super Sunday, I'll give you just a little background, which, by the way, hi, Susan. I remember Susan. I took a picture with her. Hi. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I'll tell you how that brought me into coaching, and then how I got to be a part of the test group, and how this program is just like completely changed everything, like completely changed the game for me. So I grew up as a competitive dancer. So I was very active, very in shape, danced for 16 years. And I had my first child, I had my son when I was 19. And being a teen mom and being a single mom, I went through a really hard time with postpartum depression. And that kind of spiraled me into emotional eating. I've always loved food. I've always had a sweet tooth, but this was like on a whole nother level. I used it to really cope. And I would binge eat. I would eat whether I was sad, happy, anything. And over the course of, 9 years, my son just turned 10 last month, I put on lots of weight and got over 300 pounds and was just in a really, really bad place. I was really depressed. I was really anxious all the time, stressed, and, just didn't feel good about myself. I had lost my self-confidence. I, had this vision for myself, when I was younger, like what I would be when I was a mom. And I was not that at all. And that cut me to the core, that just was super hard because my kids are super active and, just like kids are. And, when they wanted to play outside and when they wanted to run around and do things like that, I just had no energy. I had no drive. I didn't want to go anywhere. My husband and I, we wouldn't go out very much. I would make up excuses to not go out with friends because I didn't have anything to wear, or all my friends were still, cute and little from high school. And, I went through it was a really dark time. We also were struggling financially because I had to voluntarily leave my job a couple years ago because my son has special needs, and we were really struggling with him in school and with after school care. And so I chose to stay home. And when you go from 2 salaries to 1 and, you have still all the same bills to pay, that was really a big stress on us. And I think that's what added over that next year, even more emotional eating into play because I was just really stressed out. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and, I was just in a really dark place mentally and emotionally. And I remember having a conversation with my husband one night talking about what we were going to do, if we should have him get a second job, if I should go back to work, but then what were we going to do about childcare? Because, my son is going to need something particular, and we didn't have that option at the time. And it was just a really stressful thing to be in that situation. And I happened to be scrolling one night on Facebook and saw a post from my coach now, Taryn, who we weren't even friends. We have no mutual friends. It was just actually one of her Facebook like pages. And, I connected to her story, and she was talking about her coaching sneak peek. And so I had always heard about Beachbody. I actually had several Beachbody programs, but never finished them. And so I checked out the sneak peek, and I was just completely fell in love, just with the whole community, with the whole mission that Beachbody has, with the fact that, I could work on myself first. I get to, work on being a better version of myself, and then use that to inspire and help other people. And that just seemed so, so special. It seemed like purposeful, and I wasn't doing that before, and my job before, it had no purpose. I hated it. I dreaded it. So this just felt like a win-win. I got the opportunity to get healthy and become the mom that I wanted to be, and also help other people do the same, and also bring an income for our family. So I was very excited to start. I hit Emerald in 2 weeks and was just on a roll. Started building a team and having people in my downline, and then went through a really hard period where I started to lose a few people. I had some people quit. I was still very new, and I didn't have any belief in myself. And that it's something that I had lost over those years, and had lost that with my self-confidence. And I just started to doubt myself a lot. And if my coach was on this call, she will tell you, like, if there is one word that Brittani struggles with, it is belief. Because I was doubting myself all the time. I didn't think anybody would take me serious because I was over 300 pounds. And how can I tell someone, how to be healthier when I'm not healthy myself? And I struggled with a lot of those doubts and worries about what other people thought of me. And thank goodness for personal development, because like this company and just being a coach in itself, I really feel changed and saved my life and my sanity. It brought out a positive side in me. I got to work on myself and got to be healthy. I got to help other people, and that just like feels amazing. To have people message you and say, oh my gosh, I lost this much weight, or I feel so good, or I fit in these clothes again. And I mean, that's just like that right there is worth it all. When that opportunity came in, I was just coming back from Summit. Before Summit, I had really struggled with my weight. When I started as a coach, I started with size, and I did that like full bore, hardcore, stuck to the plan, had great results with it, switched to the 21-day fix, and just lost my consistency. And that's something I struggled with too, consistency in my business, consistency with my own health and fitness. And that paired with not believing in myself and having all of those doubts, just kind of made me bounce back and forth a lot with my weight and with my business. And when we came back from Summit, I was so excited and so on this high. And then I got right back into some old habits. And I thought, what is it going to take? Like, what is it going to take, Brittani? Like, this is ridiculous. You're coming up on your year anniversary. I was hoping to be down 100 pounds. I was really only down like 50 something, which, I was so happy to be down that. I mean, that's still an accomplishment. But I just wasn't where I thought I was going to be, and I remember just like kind of praying one night and just being like, seriously, what is it going to take? When is it going to get through? Like, I need to get it together. And the very next morning, I remember this like it was yesterday. The very next morning, I opened my email and had an email from Beachbody Corporate asking if I would want to be part of the test group. And I thought it was fake. I instantly messaged my coach and I was like, do they do this kind of stuff? Like, I thought just like top coaches got to do this kind of stuff. And she was like, no, do it. And, we weren't supposed to tell anybody, but I was like, well, I don't know what to do. So my coach was like, do it. So I was like, okay. So I accepted it and then found out, of course, she couldn't be in there with me. And that's when like everything just completely changed. This program is so unique, guys, because there's something almost like therapeutic about this style of working out, this MMA style, this fighter style. You're just kind of kicking and punching air, but there's some kind of aggression that you release and some kind of like I can't explain it. Like we had Joel and Jericho on our call last week, and even they were like, we've had so many people come up to us and we saw you guys in the test group, just, there's so many emotions that it brings out and we can't really pinpoint it, but it does. And I remember day 2 of the test group, I was working out and was really struggling. I was just really out of breath. I couldn't believe I had got to this point physically. And I just kind of broke down in tears towards the end of the workout. And, I just was like, I can't believe this is where I am. And for some reason, that brought out this, like, I'm going to try to do this without crying. I'm sorry. That brought out some kind of drive and fight in me like I had never, ever had before. I've never been, this is going to sound bad, but I mean, I've never really been a really hard worker, a really goal setter, and, I'm going to go for it and do it, put everything into it. I've never really been that way. I've never been really, really self-motivated, but I've also never really struggled with anything as much as I have my weight. And as challenging as this was, like, this program brought out something in me that made me remember my why. It made me remember everything that I had started this for. It, made me remember why I was doing this for me. It brought up just thoughts of my kids growing up and seeing a healthy mom who was active and, could run around and play with them. And my husband and I, we've been wanting to go to Disney for so many years, because my oldest one is now 10 and my youngest she just turned 3. And I have been scared to go because I'm afraid I can't get on the rides with them. And that's, like, horrible. Like, that is horrible. And that is, like, I remember thinking it that day, that second day, like, I will never go back. I will never go back. And it just really, like, every time I do this workout, there's so many days when it's hard, when life is crazy, when my kids are crazy, and I don't want to do it. And it's so much easier to just, like, want to skip it or sit on the couch and pig out on, food, or, it's so much easier. But I have to remember, like, my deeper why. Like, remember the kind of mom that I want to be, the kind of things I want to do with my kids when I'm my healthiest, the kind of example that I want to set for them. And, most importantly, how I feel. This program has given me so much confidence, so much belief in myself. I feel just like I can do so much more than I thought I can. It's pushed me, and because I've pushed myself, I've saw how much stronger that I am than I thought I was. And that has helped every aspect of my life. As a mom, as a coach, as a person. It's been life-changing, and I can't, like, I'm so excited for you guys to experience this because I can't even put it into words, but, like, it's so different and so unique. It's going to bring out a lot of emotions in you, and just welcome that and, use that to help you dig deep and dig into your deeper why and remember what you're fighting for. And, remember who's watching you. Remember your challengers, your family, and do this for yourself. Fight for yourself and prove yourself that you're more capable than you thought you could be. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Snotty. I'm sorry.
No, please. We're a bunch of moms and women and on the call that cry probably, every day. No, maybe not. You know what? No, your story and hearing about where you came from and how you got involved and how that happened. I mean, that's just what drew me to you. And because, we are all, like I said, do you think that, because you were a challenger and you said you did size full out and then you did 21 day fix and you fell away like a lot of challengers do, right? Do you think that being a test group participant showed you how to be like a challenger again? Do you know what I mean? Like what a challenger feels like again. Do you know what I mean? In a test group, you have to do all the things. You have to take pictures when you don't feel like it and all of that, right? Yes. Challengers, they don't like doing that. We know that. We know that those before and after pictures are so tough for all of us, for as coaches, but even for our challengers. But we know how important those before and after pictures are. So how do you think we should approach that with our challengers? Because I really think that we want to do this test group, and we'll talk to the coaches, but the team, that we want to really make this like a test group. Do you know what I mean? Like Nikki and Wyden said, like sign that contract. you know, and take those measurements and take that before picture. But what would you suggest that we do to help our challengers, push past that fear of those pictures? Or what do you think? What is your thought?
Well, that's a good question, because up until this test group, I was scared to do those things myself. And I'm a coach, I never had even shown a picture of my before and afters before the test group because I was terrified of how people will judge me. Mm-hmm. But I think first of all, the first thing that we can do is be the best example of a challenger for them first. So, before maybe the test group starts, go ahead and posting your own, before pictures or your own measurements and showing that, yes, this is scary, but this is what is necessary for us to realize where we are and where we want to go. And, letting them know that this is a safe place. Like, that's what I love about our challenge groups. They're a safe place for us to all be real, for all to love and support each other. And, it's not a place for them to be scared or feel judged. So maybe just being like, setting that example first and being able to share those things. And then just letting your challengers know that this, honestly, when they go 100% into this program and they go to take their afters, they will be so happy that they took those befores. I'm telling you, because I had a picture of me at over 300 pounds of my heaviest that I deleted off my camera way before I started Beachbody because I thought it was the worst picture ever, and I never wanted anyone to see what I really looked like under my black clothes and how I can, dress for my body. I didn't want them to see what I really looked like, and I wish that I still had that picture. And I honestly think I could probably try to find it. I really want to find it.
Now you're like, let's get it.
Yeah. They will be so happy that they did. So I would definitely stress that importance.
I love that you said, like, we all post our pictures and our measurements in our group before anyone else does. Just like, go ahead and do it. That's a great idea. I love that. And set the example ahead of time. I think that is so smart. All right. So let me ask you a question and then I'll open it up. The eating plan. I hear that I know that the deluxe kit comes with the containers. Is that correct? All right. But Joel was on Anita Myron's team call and shared that he just likes measuring cups. He was like, I like measuring cups. I don't know. Containers fill up with water and they spill them in. I don't know. So I was like, oh, okay. So how has the eating plan worked out for you? And what have you stuck to it to a T? Do you have 80-20 or what? Because you had some, first tell us what were your results? So what are your results so far? And then share a little bit about the eating plan with us and how you stuck to it, because your results are great.
Thank you. So the eating plan, okay, so my results so far, in 60 days, I've lost 24.5 pounds and 32.5 inches and dropped an entire dress size. And with the eating plan, so the first 30 days, I was like gung-ho. I was like, this is it. Like, I ate all my containers. I ate from the top of the food list because they usually put it, most nutritious at the top. I didn't cheat. I didn't have, made sure I drank all my water. And those first day and those 30-day pictures were like mind-blowing. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize my body could do that. So I was super excited that I stuck to it. Now, round 2 was actually harder for me because the second set of 30 days is when the excitement starts to wear off a little bit, just like with our challengers, and real life kind of kicks back in. The emotional, eating habits that I had before, the binging, those were creeping back in, and it was a mental game. And I remember one night, I had a slip up, and I had one of the worst days ever. I had a lot on my mind, a lot of stress going on, and, my kids had pizza in the fridge left over from the weekend, and, I indulged. And I shared that on Facebook because I think it's important also with our challengers to let them know that, we're real people and we're not perfect and you're going to have slip ups. But what was so great about that is that before, I would have used that as an opportunity to just spiral out of control. I would have just not worked out the next day. I would have continued to eat what I wanted, and it would have just been a downward spiral. But, this mindset shift made me kind of stop and recognize what I was doing and that that's not healthy. And just the next day, I just picked it back up. And since then, I've pretty much stuck to the plan. There have been a few things where my carbs may have not been the best that I chose for my containers. I do use the container system for the most part, or if I don't have them with me. But yeah, I think measuring cups or the fixed containers would be great. And, it's going to be a little hard because there's no, the 21-day fix has the yellows you can trade for chocolate in one. But this one, doesn't have that. But there's some really good, Shakeology chocolate recipes that, that could help. So, but at the same time, you get to eat a lot of food. And week 2 and 3, you get to eat more food.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So yeah.
Cool. Are you in the performance line? Are you using that at all?
I did use the Energize. A lot of our test group people used Recover, Hydrate, and Energize throughout most of the whole process. You are going to be really sore the first couple weeks, and week 3 was the hardest for all of us. We were all very sore, very drained. So I would say maybe make a note and really use that week to dial back in and check in with the challengers and just let them know that this is going to be hard, but we're all going to fight through this. We're all going to get through it together. But I just use the Energize some days. So
that is such a great tip. Thank you for sharing that about week 3. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. That's going to be so important to our group. Okay, I think we had one more question I had, then I'll open it up because I know you have to get off here in a few minutes and run to your
no biggie.
So I think it was Susan maybe that was asking about, she has a challenger who's very interested in quarter force, but she has some knee issues. So is there anyone in your group that has has mobility issues with their knee? What would you suggest? Do you have Joel or Jericho talk about that in your groups?
That's actually an awesome question. I actually have had knee issues from all my years of dance. Mm-hmm. I had basically no cartilage, and I had knee surgery 3 years ago on my left knee. We do have a lot of people in our test group who had previous knee injuries or surgeries. And what's so awesome about this program is that if you follow the modifier, it can be very low impact. And honestly, what's so great about it is if you focus more on form and getting the moves right, as opposed to speed, that is going to really, did I freeze?
No. Do we?
Sorry guys, it says my internet connection's unstable.
We can still hear you. Trust me, I went through this the other day. It's okay, we can hear you, so just keep talking. Can you hear me? She might be gone. Okay, we will wait for her to jump back in. I like what she just said, you guys, about form versus speed, because what she probably is going to say is that you'll see better results if you just, there she's back, that you'll, trust me, I figured out my computer a little bit better, so it hasn't, knock on wood, frozen yet for me, but there's still time. So you were saying form versus speed. Were you going to say that form is over speed, that you'll have better results with the form if you stick with that?
Definitely. And that's something that Joel and Jericho stressed a lot too, is that getting the moves down and really taking advantage of your form and doing the moves correctly, because that twisting and turning and doing those moves the right way is really what's going to give you the results as opposed to speed. And I use the modifier probably 70% of the time my first 30 days. I'm still using her a lot. And I still got phenomenal results. So I think anybody can do this program. And Joel and Jericho said the same thing too. Slow down, follow the modifier, work on the form, and they're going to have the great results still.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, let me just open up the floor. Does anybody have any questions? I can open up the chat if you want to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask, which is just maybe one more minute. keep her.
Oh, you're fine on time. You're fine on time.
All right. Have any message, anything they want to type in? Oh, come on. She's here, you guys.
I do have a question.
Go, Joe.
Well, and I don't know if you even know, but like, how did you get to be a part of the test group? How does that all work?
Well, actually, I'm not quite sure. I know my coach. I know that's not helpful. My coach, she said that she was asked by corporate. She was picked by corporate, and that she could pick 2 coaches of hers to do it with her. And there were apparently some kind of qualifications that the coaches had to meet.
Okay.
So she put all those coaches in a hat and drew a name, and
that's so cool.
God thing for sure.
Yes, that's so cool. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I wish I knew how she was chosen because they're so much fun, and it would be nice if you could like request to be in one or something,
Yes. That would be me. I would like to.
They are crazy, for sure. You never know. People ask, you're like, I don't know how I got chosen. You're like, what do you have to do? Okay, so what else, guys? Any other specifics? I'm trying to think. What was the, okay, I know it. I had one question. I circled it when you said it. What was the one personal development book that you read that helped you through that beginning time when you started to not believe and you were like struggling with belief? What was that PD book you picked up that helped?
Okay, so You Are a Badass is the very first book I read, and I picked it right back up right before I started Quarter Force and finished it again. And then also The Miracle Morning. That was really, really awesome for me to kind of just, really get back into a routine and, make sure I make myself a priority first as well.
Was it The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers or the other one?
It was just the original one. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
So you're welcome. I did want to share another tip also. Sure. And then, totally cool for answering more questions. But I did want to let you guys know, so there are 7 days of workouts, but the 7th day is like a rest / recovery day. There is just like a short 20-minute workout that's mostly stretching and then also helps you with form that Joel and Jericho and then all of us in the test group really are emphasizing our challengers not to skip because it was so helpful with our, being sore. It was helpful with our form. It was a great way to just stretch us out and, keep us flexible with all the kicks and punches. So I wanted to share that with you guys too, to not skip it because it's a good one.
I saw that it was 7 days and I wondered. And so that must feel super good to stretch out after a week, especially that 3rd week. I bet you guys were like, oh my gosh, can we go on another week? Oh my
Yeah.
So one more question I thought of was,
question.
Yeah, yes.
Jess, you go. I'll ask after.
Oh, I was just going to ask, did you do the basic program or did you do any of the deluxe workouts?
I think we are doing the base because I know the deluxe comes with the agility ladder, and we didn't do any workouts that had those. I know they did film a couple extra workouts that weren't included in our test group. So yeah, I think we just had the base program. Yeah, which is still amazing.
Yeah,
I'm excited to try the extra ones though, the extra workouts. See what they're out.
Okay, my question is if you could, say one thing of why you should tell people to do this program, like his biggest selling point, what would it be? Well, not selling point, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's a great question. That's an awesome question. I would just tell them that it's so unique because it changes you from the inside out. Just, it brings out a fight in you. It brings out emotions in you, and it just really helps because, something Jericho said when she was on our call last week, she said, when you start a fitness program, most people do it for results. You get your results, and then what do you have? It's almost kind of, there's nothing deeper. And, this program is going to push you beyond what you thought you were capable of, and bring up those emotions and help you remember what you're fighting for. And that is going to take you even further than just results. You know, it's going to help you in every area of your life. So I honestly think like that's just what makes it so different and so unique, for sure.
I think that is a great answer for that. I just can't believe you were here to talk to us tonight about this. I'm so happy. We just crossed paths, Brittani. I'm just thrilled about this. Anybody else have any thoughts, any questions for Brittani about the test group or her challenge group that she's running? What she's doing special with that? Maybe she can share. Do you do a contract? You can have them sign a form?
Yeah, we created a contract. We included, what pictures they needed to take for male and female, how to take them, how to take their measurements. And there is a contract, saying that they're committing to the program, committing to the nutrition plan, committing to check in every day. If we don't see them for a few days, they're given their coach permission to check in and say, hey, where you been? You okay? Which we do anyways. But, so we're doing that. I'm trying to think. We're running it just like a test group. So we are giving them a day off in between. We're doing 2 rounds. We're giving them a day off like we did with the test group. And we did, I did want to mention too, so this is going to be through the holidays.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people were really kind of nervous about that. And Joel and Jericho made some really good points last week and said that, giving people that day, that Thanksgiving and that Christmas, and encourage them not to overindulge, but let them know that you get your workout in and you can have some pie and you can have a drink, and just, not go crazy, but to have that balance and then the next day, get right back on it. So I think that was kind of like, that's something we really want to stress to our challengers too. So I thought I'd share that too, but.
I think that maybe having a Zoom call with like something like this, those that want to hop on, with your challengers might be even a good idea, just to see face to face and talk about the fears or the struggles, or maybe do that once or twice, I don't know. So I think that this kind of interaction is super for people. So
I love that idea. That's excellent.
So just like you would in a test group. I know that we got together for 20 Mile Hardcore, and that was nice to be able to be like, this is hard. Okay, well, we should also do the 6 or 7 minute the form before the workout to learn our form.
Yeah, the learn it and work it's really good, because that will help you kind of get the moves down, and once you get the form down, then you can increase your speed and so, those are really important too.
Okay, very cool. Okay, guys, anything else for?
I got one quick question.
No, that's fine. Go for it.
So, Brittani, I feel like in my challenge group, with my challengers, I think food is the hardest part. Meal planning and food. And that's such a big part of this. Maybe so important. So, do you have what do you guys share meal plans? Or anything like that, or how do you guys do it in your group? I know that's what I struggle with the most, is the nutrition and staying on track and planning and preparing, and sometimes that seems so overwhelming for everybody. So how's that going for you guys?
I'm in the same boat. That is so me to a T. I've always struggled with nutrition. I get overwhelmed when I have to sit down and plan, what we're going to have for the week, and then write a grocery list, and that stresses me out.
Yeah,
and sometimes I just eat the same thing just because it's easy, and I know I don't have to, change it up. But we are going to plan, for me, I was in the highest food bracket, and another girl on the test group on our team was in the next one down, and the other girl was in the very lowest one. So we are going to share just kind of like a sneak peek of our meals and what we would eat for the week in that bracket. So maybe that would be helpful. We're also going to share Quarter Force approved recipes, crockpot recipes, dinner recipes. And then also we started to get a little, what's the word? I don't know. But we started to get a little, what is the word? Crafty, maybe, with our Shakeology.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Making like Shakeology Reese cups, with
Jessica's all over that. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Share those, y'all. Share those, because that was like my saving grace. Like Shakeology ice cream and peanut butter cups, time of the month comes up. Sorry if there's any boys on here, but time of the month comes up and sometimes our women cravings take over. So I think just, arming them to be prepared for when that stuff happens. Yeah, definitely share all that stuff too.
Yeah, so smart. Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to see you on here.
Yeah. I know.
It's awesome.
I love it. You're like my homegirls, like my hometown girls now. Like your guys are close to me.
Come on, jump in our challenge group live one day. I'd like to see you. I'll add you. No, I'm gonna come see you.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, and great seeing all of you tonight. Thank you for supporting Brittani. On this call tonight, Sarah, good to see you. Sarah's back in coaching land. I'm so excited to have you back. Does she see me? She may not. She looks like oh, there she is. Okay, she moved. Good to see you, girl. I'm so glad you're back. All right, guys, we take a picture before Brittani. I hope you don't mind, so we can post it. Tag everybody. And I just screenshot it. If y'all want to do a picture with your phone, you can, but I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you smile. All right. Fix your hand. All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. That was loud. Okay. I've done that. Carl Deichler was on a call with us once, and I did that. I was like, could they hear that? Probably somebody. All right, guys. Well, let's see. Jill said she has chills from this, and Jess said she can relate to everything you're saying. And Sarah said, is there a daily stretch to do besides the 5-minute before bed stretch? Is there a daily stretch for after the exercise? I haven't looked at it, but Brittani, can you quickly answer that?
Yeah. So there is just a couple minute cool down after each workout. So definitely take advantage of that. And then that 5-minute relief stretching at night, especially since I wasn't taking the, like the recover and things like that, that's really saved me with being sore and being ready for the next day. So yeah, take advantage of that.
Very cool. Great question. I'm sorry I didn't get it. Can you add? Yeah, I can add, Angel, I can add a pic. Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on. I'll post this on our YouTube page, and Brittani, I will send you the link. Okay, so you can come.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was like so amazing to meet you. I feel like I've known you forever. Is that weird?
Isn't that amazing how it works in this biz?
Yeah. And I'm just really honored to be able to share, my story with you guys, and it just means a lot. So thank you for having me.
You are, my art's our pleasure. Thank you
for being here.
We will see each other on the flip side and soon.
And I froze again.
What?
I'm sorry.
I hear you. I get it now. Trust me. I'm surprised I didn't freeze. So I'm blowing you kisses. Bye, girl.
Bye, back.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.